मोर खाली टिके येटा को जॉइन करी आ उट जॉइनिंग मागुची प्रेजेंट करेवा पई हां it is the unit 1. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Now, you know I am assigned cognitive psychology and block 1. Today's counseling units are block 1, unit 1, block 1, unit 2, block 1, unit 3, and block 1, unit 4. Now on your screen, I have displayed cognitive psychology block 1, unit 1. And in these 2 hours, we have to cover up all these 4 units. And that's why I'll be going through the materials and specific things that I think you are supposed to understand. I'll be explaining them. First one is cognitive. Any question? Cognitive psychology block 1. Yes.
सर जो मनकर बुक आसिकी घरे पहुंचनी कौन करिवा
तमे मु तो आई हैव डिस्प्लेड द बुक तमे एउठ देखो स्क्रीन रे देखो टिके बड़ कर दी
ओके
बुक
ओके
जेतले घरे पहुंचबो
आगे
the book I have displayed in the screen. I'll be this screen share
आगे
करिबि
सर
ହେଲା
सर एटा
now
सर
हाँ
एटा एटा खाली हमरो जो काउंसलिंग पर्पस रे एग्जाम तो सरलानी तो एटा माने प्रैक्टिकल पर्पस रे ना जोटा बे क्लास हबो
exam ସରିଲାଣି कोन समस्तଙ୍କର is it for everybody who have completed their examination
नो
सर
सर
माने एमएपीसी
नहीं
नहीं एमएपीसी
there are
फर्स्ट ईयर
students
रे
नहीं there
नो
are
सर
students
जून सेक्शन रे एग्जाम दवर अछि ना जुलाई
हाँ
आ
सेक्शन
जो सर जारो 2023 डिसेंबर जनवरी रो तो सरी गलानी ना
नहीं have you completed your this is a program for all of you anybody who wants to have any kind counseling means when you have any kind of difficulty and we will be explaining those kind of things ତେଣୁ ତମେ attend କରୁଛ ମାନେ this is MAPC 1 and the paper is learning and memory cognitive psychology. Today we will be discussing all the 4 units. Whatever the content may be, we will be discussing those kind of things.
ओके
Now, first unit, block 1, unit 1. Cognitive psychology, this part is your course. If you have got the book, these are the kinds of the courses in there, in that book. Objectives, and in this unit you have these 4 objectives to be completed. 1, field of cognitive psychology. That means what are the different areas that belong to cognitive psychology, or you can say that what are the different things that you study in cognitive psychology. Then provide a formulation on who is to build and understand the topics in cognitive psychology. Describe some intellectual history and then emphasize on some research issues like that. Let us go to the details of the course. Cognitive psychology and introduction. Cognitive psychology is the study of how people perceive, learn, remember, and think about information. In precisely, it is the science of psychology or part of scientific psychology, in which we study the mental processes, higher mental processes of the human beings, such as perception, learning, thinking, memory, decision making, all those kind of important activities that human being is doing in the higher mental as a higher mental activity. That is what is cognitive psychology, and that is what is cognitive fields of cognitive psychology, scope of cognitive psychology. And this block is devoted to learning and memory first.
Sir,
Now, yes,
sir, we are not able to see the screens. Can you please share?
I have shared the screen.
Yes, our screen is visible,
Nobody
sir.
is able to see the screen.
Yes, sir, we
No,
are
sir.
able to see.
No, sir,
I am able
Screen
to
is
see.
screen is
visible, sir.
visible.
Then
It's
maybe
visible,
there may
sir.
be some problem. That's sad
Yes,
because it
yes,
is
the
already
screen is
there in my
visible.
screen. It is there in my screen also.
Okay,
Therefore,
okay, okay, sir.
some
Yes,
difficulty is
yes,
there
the
in
screen
yours.
is visible.
सर
Okay,
ये
okay.
स्टडी मटेरियल मिल जाएगा ना अभी तक मिला नहीं है लेकिन मिल जाएगा
नहीं, स्टडी मटेरियल तो आपको ऑफिशियली इग्नू से मिलेगा, आएगा. अदरवाइज
अच्छा
नहीं मिलता है. अदरवाइज नहीं मिलता है. यू कैन गो फॉर ई ज्ञानकोश एंड डाउनलोड द स्टडी मटेरियल.
पीडीएफ अवेलेबल है उसका.
Or else we can also do one thing like we can download an app of IGNU and in that it is there. Everything is there in that app.
All study
इग्नू ऐप
materials are available. IGNU website, everywhere study material, IGNU study material is available. If you don't get hard copy, you can get soft copy. I have got this soft copy from IGNU source.
ओके सर
It's no problem. Study material is no problem nowadays. You can get it anywhere in the way. Anyway, now coming to the most important aspects of cognitive psychology is research methods. You know, any science, in order to develop itself, grow itself, in order to take it to the modern stand and modern position, research is most essential. And research in cognitive psychology is very high level of research are being carried out nowadays. New areas of research have also come up in cognitive psychology, and a lot of things have happened in cognitive psychology. Now, in order to understand the areas of research in cognitive science, because it is, I have to cover all the 4 units today. Therefore, I'm a little, I'll go faster. This is a counseling class. If you have any doubt anywhere, I'm going through the course. If you feel that you have a doubt anywhere, you can ask a question. Or
Okay,
else I will
okay.
just. Now, goals of research in cognitive psychology. To understand the specific methods used by cognitive psychology, one must grasp the goals of research in cognitive psychology. Briefly, those goals include data gathering, data analysis, theory development, hypothesis formulation, and hypothesis testing. This is any kind of research, it has goal. This is the kind of goal that you need to develop hypothesis, you need to develop theories about the issue that you are doing, and you also need to grow up in that, and so that data analysis kind of things are happening in any subject, and that is the goals of research. Distinct research methods. Now, cognitive psychology is largely using experimental method as its research method, or laboratory experiments is being precisely conducted. Field experiments is being precisely conducted. Different kinds of experimental methods are being used. Independent and dependent variables are being identified, and causal relationship, links, and other kinds of issues are being taken care of. And self-report and another part, along with experimental research, because experimental research is not always possible for every kind of thing that you are doing in psychology. Therefore, psychologists have adopted other kinds of methods which will be suitable to human conditions and research on cognitive psychology, research on human beings in cognitive psychology. And those methods are self-report methods. Self-report methods means you will be asked certain questions, certain things about you, certain problems about you, and then you, on the basis of your research, on the basis of your report, asking many people about this kind of thing, then the researcher continues or carries out a research. That is self-report. And then case study. Self-report is a general approach. It applies to getting information about many people at a time. And information is also very structured information, small group of information. But when it is something very important and something relates to some individual cases, some specific cases, then we can go for case study method. Case study means getting in-depth information, getting lots of information about any person. You get a case, one case, two case, 5 cases, then ask them many things about their processes of cognition, about their development, particularly when you are taking, supposing you are using your research about the cognitive psychology or cognition of special children, then you may have to go for case study, and general principles or general self-report will not apply to them as much as you want. And similarly, case study is a very specific method, and it is used some specific purposes. And then naturalistic observation. Another important aspect of research method is naturalistic observation. So psychologists believe that the man is available best in his environment or in his own living space. Wherever he is staying, if you take it into confidence and get your things from that situation, that's confident. Therefore, naturalistic observation, supposing you want to study something about tribal children, you cannot bring them to laboratory conditions and ask them questions to solve your problems, solve your issues. You can go to their place in whatever way they are living, in whatever the way they are studying. All those you can take as your information or data for research. Likewise, similarly, another advanced development in research methodology in all fields and also relating to cognition is computer simulation or artificial intelligence. You know, man is largely, or computer is largely compensating the human system and human behavior and human kinds of things. And that is nowadays called as artificial intelligence. Therefore, if a simulation is available, if something is available which is as nearly equal to human beings, then we can carry on research by using those advantages of those systems. That means whenever you are doing any research in order to understand the human beings by the use of computers or any modern gadget, you can call them as simulation research, computer simulation research. Without involving specific human beings, you can get some kind of research through computers. And that is a new development in research. Now, domains of cognitive psychology, domains means which are the areas included in cognitive psychology, or presently, whenever someone is studying cognitive psychology, what aspects are included in it, in his study. In your coursework, that is cognitive psychology, and therefore, what are the areas? Now, you see, these are the so many areas in cognitive psychology, beginning with cognitive neuroscience. Cognitive neuroscience means your neurological system, your neurobiology is also a part of your maintenance, effectiveness, and carrying out your cognitive behavior. And studying that part is called neuroscience, cognitive neuroscience. Then perception, thinking, attention, representation of knowledge in the system or information processing, conscientiousness, memory, imagery, language, development, psychology as the process of your cognition or cognitive development, as you know, Piaget's theory of cognitive development, one such explanation, and then pattern recognition, all these kind of things. These are different areas, or you can say in cognitive psychology. Then all these areas are explained. Pattern recognition, attention, you read it, you find that what is this area in cognitive psychology and what it covers about or what it says about. All those areas are there in cognitive psychology. Now, a brief history. A brief history, you don't have to be given any further explanation, because it is only a kind of reporting, description, how cognitive psychology started, when it started, who took the initiative to begin cognitive psychology, and early ideas, what were the early ideas of developing cognitive psychology, what are the early issues in cognitive psychology. All those kind of things are kind of history. But at present, cognitive psychology has grown up, has gone to a large extent of understanding the human mind and human cognition. It has become more or less a very highly refined science about human psyche. Now, the history I am not repeating. You just see cognition in the Renaissance and beyond. Then cognitive psychology in the early 20th century, 1959, before 1950s. Then cognitive psychology as it is today, what is its status at present. These are all theoretical things, and some important issues during those days are being cited. For example, as it happens now, modern linguistics has become a part of cognitive psychology, where you study how language and cognition are influencing human thinking. What is language and how kind of things, and like that. And key issues in the study of cognitive psychology. This is one important thing, that is across the period of history, what are the things that influence or people of cognitive psychology were more concerned about? Rationalism versus empiricism. That means when some ideas came into the knowledge of cognitive psychologists from the research findings, from the empirical findings, from the experimental findings, and when it contradicted the rational approach to thinking, then there was a controversy whether this is right or that is right. Things that have emerged from empiricism by experiment is right, or things that is emerged from rational thinking is right. That was a kind of controversy, but which has been continuously there and stopped. Structures versus processes. Another important issue with cognitive psychology was, supposing learning, what is more important to learn? Early psychology, they address the question like, this is what is learning, these are the constituents of learning, this is, but how that takes place, what is the way that learning happens in the person, that is called process. There are two sides. One, structural aspect of cognition, perception having structural aspect, learning having structural aspect, memory having structural aspect. Supposing we are in, and that we learn as human physiological system. But how do they take place in different people? As a structure, it is there. Everybody has a nose, everybody has an ear. But functionally, they are not same. That is different. And therefore, there was an emphasis about structure versus function. Then domain generality versus domain. These are some of the issues you have to read. Computer metaphor. Important things I will be discussing, because half an hour I am assigned half an hour for each of these units. Now there are some unit end questions that you have to carefully answer by reading these questions. Describe the major historical schools of psychological thought leading up to the development of cognitive psychology. Earlier it has been discussed. Which are the schools? Schools means the group of people constituting a body to carry on research and say something. 10 ଜଣ ମିଶିକିରି ଗୋଟେ research kale ebong se idea ku propagate kale, then it can be recognized as a school of thought, if that is a very basic and fundamental idea. Now, These are some of the things. And here are suggested readings. And with this unit is covered. Any question from this unit, any page, if you want to go back with the kind of material, jodi nahi, tale. Now we should move into the next unit. Half an hour for every unit. Anybody having any question or any kind of thing to say? असुविधा सुविधा एइतो जानले मु पुनी नेक्स्ट स्लाइड नेक्स्ट प्रेजेंटेशन बेलू ये करिवे कार किछि कहिवार अछि कि नहीं नाउ I am moving to the next tab.
हेलो
हाँ यस
आज्ञा नमस्कार
नमस्कार हाँ
सर वी डोंट हैव बुक्स अबे सर बही गुडा को आसी नांदी सर माने पहुंची नहीं सर तो टिके प्रॉब्लम बहुत होची सर
हाँ नहीं नहीं सुनतु बही बही अपन के पाखे बही आसिनी ना बही तो आसिना कथा अच्छा आपण एठी कहले सेमानकर ऑफिस लोक हम
सर मु दी थोड़ा कॉल कर दी सर से मानकर
औ मु तांको बही कथा कहू
आज्ञा आ गुटिया डाउट थिला सर
हां
सर आज्ञा सर टिके प्रॉब्लम है कि माने मोर गोटे एक्सक्यूज होची सर कि गोटे ग्रुप करंतु सर और सेइतरे टिके किछि इंफॉर्मेशन दंतु काहे कि ना केते लोग
हां आपण ए जे माने आज सुनतु आपण के भितरे जे माने
सर आपका आवाज थोड़ा कट कट के आ रहा है
हाँ जाने को
सर हम लोग ये बोल रहे हैं कि एक व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप बनाना चाहिए
तुमने मैंने मत सुबुनी अच्छे जाने
Sir, it's a request if everybody can speak in English or in Hindi because most of us can't understand.
माने इंग्लिश और इन हिंदी we are not able to understand area.
Yes, I just request to say sir, we have a group in WhatsApp group because we need some urgent information that's no have idea about in this platform by IGNO or any other thing.
Then add this. Kindly add this.
Voice your sorry sir, your voice is breaking, so we don't listen to your every word.
My voice is breaking.
वॉइस इको हो रहा है
Yes sir, now it's perfect.
Because please mute yourself.
Please mute one by one can answer.
What I am saying, official matters I am not very aware because I am not a part of that office.
Yes,
Am
sir.
I audible? Only yes, sir.
Yes
Now you remain silent, all of you. I will be telling about your problem. In fact, official kind of thing, supposing you have not got materials, supposing you have any other kind of issues, you can contact the office persons. I am only just assigned to take your class and give you some kind of guidance about the academic side of the things. I am not a part of their administrative system. That is why whatever your problem, you can talk to them. But about study material, if you want, you can get it download from from the IGNOU website, because you see, they have not given me study material. I have kept it for myself, and I have downloaded it. So study material is
Excuse
no
me, sir.
issue. Eh?
Excuse me, sir. Kindly inform us about the practical paper 7.
Nahin. Let me tell you, I am not the person to be doing anything about that.
Okay.
Okay.
I am an outsider. I am just taking your class as a resource person. Official
Okay,
thing,
okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
official thing, you should contact to the office management, IGNOU office unit, RC,
Regional,
regional office.
I think regional center, sir, Bhubaneswar.
Regional center, Bhubaneswar. They are the people. I am not a part of that center. It is
Okay,
only
sir.
I am now.
Sir, what is the difference between nature and nurture? Hello,
Now, yes, you need
sir. What is the
to
difference between the nature and nurture?
difference between nature and nurture. Nature and nurture is an underlying controversy, not only in psychology, in all social sciences. Nature and nurture means whether the egg is first or hen is first, whether the night is first or day is first. That similar issue I am telling you. Whether man is first or woman is first. That is nature and nurture controversy in our development from birth to the end of our life. During the entire period, we have been growing up, developing, learning, thinking. Lot of things are happening to us. Now the question is, are they being given to us by birth as kind of our genetic importance or genetic development, or the society or the environment, they have the kind of thing. When the part of our development being controlled, managed, or being created by genetic system is our nature. That is called the nature. And when the part is being supported or given some extent the advantage by environment, it is nurture. If I am a good student, maybe I have some genetic endowment from my parents. But that is not all the story. I am a good student because I am a hardworking. I am a hardworking is my nurture. My getting my birth to my parents having better genetic endowment is nature.
Nature.
That is nature nurture controversy.
Thank you, sir.
Supposing intelligence, whether intelligence you have got it from your parents or you have developed it by your own effort, both the things are right. Nature is a part, nurture is a part. Taken together, we grow. Hello?
Thank you, sir.
Now, next, information processing in learning and memory. Basically, you know that whenever you are learning, your input system is information. You are reading book, you are listening to the teacher, you are trying to write something. Whatever you are doing, it is basically, it can be called as a set of information, or you can call them as your stimulus input system. And when you get the information, it goes into your system through your sensory organs, through your eyes, through your ears, through your nose. All sensory organs are responsible to give in information into your system. That is what is information. And information by itself is not the knowledge. For you, when you are reading the book, The material that you read from the book is not your knowledge. Knowledge comes when it gets into your system and gets some kind of activity on that. And that we call processing. That means every human being gets knowledge from the environment by his input system, by his sensory systems. And those knowledges get into his system where they are being processed. Generally, in a factory, the input systems are there, and then finally the output systems come. Input and output, and the processing is there for the output. And that is there. And information processing. And whatever we are learning, that is why when two people are learning, the learning is not the same. The effectiveness is not the same. The memory for both of them are not the same. If it is not something a mechanical process, it is a very complex, systematic process in the human being. And now, information processing happens during learning and memory. Now here, something are there, that learning and memory as a chapter, sensory memory. Memory, now you have to understand what is sensory memory. That when you receive something in your eye as a sensation, you saw something, and that remains for a fraction of seconds, it remains in your eye. That information is there, and that retention is called sensory memory. Sensory memory means the fraction of the time that a particular information is remaining in your system. And then, as you are aware that there happens a kind of selection process, whenever you are awake, lots of information are coming out from the environment and are being passed through your sensory systems. ବାହାରୁ ବହୁତ ଜିନିଷ ଆସିକରି ଆମର ଆଖି ନାକ କାନ ଚାରିଆଡ଼େ ପ୍ରତି ସମୟ, every movement, every time, thousands of stimuli are impinging in our sensory system. But if we deal, or if you want to deal with all of them, if you want to take all of them into our system, then our system will collapse. Our system will break down. That is why in the beginning, when it is there in the sensory memory, we have a process of selection. Selection process means we decide which sensory information is supposed to pass through our system and go to our further processing. କୋଉ ଗୁଡାକ ଯିବ, କୋଉ ଗୁଡାକ ସେଇଠି ନଷ୍ଟ କରିଦିଆଯିବ. Supposing there are thousands information through eye, nose, ear, we only allow a very small proportions relevant and important to us into our system for processing, and reject all those which have no purpose for us. And then once it goes to from the sensory memory, then the next level of our memory is called short-term memory. That is the most important aspect of your memory processes or memory processes. Short-term memory is the place where all activities are conducted to keep your memory alive for all time to come. That thing is called working memory. That short-term memory is called the working house of the memory. It is as good as your kitchen or kitchenette place where cooking is being done. That means short-term memory, but the material information stays there for a very short time, short duration. But all things happen there. If your short-term memory is weak, if your short-term memory functioning is poor, then you cannot grow up with good sources or good strength of memory. Short-term memory part, or that aspect of your memory is more important, and it is the real working memory, functional memory, whatever you call. Now, once the material, or you can say your memory is prepared, is created in the short-term house, if you take it as a house. And then once the memory is created and prepared, it is passed on to the long-term memory. The next level is long-term memory. And long-term memory is largely a storing house. And you keep your change material, that is processing means, as I have told, in short-term memory, what happens? The memory, the way that you got the information from the environment is not the same that you can keep it in your memory. Supposing you listen to a music, it cannot be stored in your long-term memory in that form of music. It has to be changed into a neurochemical model. As much as you see in the supposing whenever you are listening to a music, the music is converted into a kind of system. Likewise, your memory is converted into a system and to be kept in the long-term memory. And that is called a neurochemical system, or you can, by technical name, it is called an engram or memorygram. It is not, and that is the final stage, and it has an unlimited capacity, long-term memory. All your life's entire memory things, whatever you have come across, whatever you have prepared for your memory and kept, those are there in your long-term memory. It is there. And whenever you need any kind of long-term memory for your use, supposing you have read for 6 months for your examination, you have memorized the things, and those things are there in your long-term memory. Those are available in your long-term memory. And when you are in the examination hall, you need to write whatever you have read, then those elements from the long-term memory are called back to the short-term memory, and you use those things. That is why it is called short-term memory, the working house. You cannot can write a thing straight from your long-term memory. It has to come to your short-term memory to be displayed in your thinking, in your knowledge. That is the long-term memory and short-term memory. And the process of getting back is called retrieval. Sometimes you confuse that I have read, I have remembered so many things, but during the examination, I couldn't recollect. I couldn't get the answer. That is because your long-term retrieval has not happened. Long-term retrieval is a kind of technique, is a very important aspect. If you are not able to properly bring it back to your short-term memory, then you will not be able to give it in writing or whatever for your purpose. Then long-term memory is only a storehouse. It keeps everything from beginning of your birth till death. Everything is there. But it is not important because using it is more important, and using is being done by short-term house. Short-term. Any question? Achha. Next. Memory model କହିଲି short-term, long-term, minimum information ଦେଇଦେଲି.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1.
ତମେ ଗୋଟେ କାମ କର, ଯାହାକୁ ଯାହା ପ୍ରଶ୍ନ କରିବାର ଅଛି ମାନେ ମତେ ଶୁଭୁନି, ଲେଖି ଦିଅ.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
ଆଚ୍ଛା. ଅର୍ଚ୍ଚନା.
Archana ma'am, please mute yourself.
Is it that in my end some problem is there? I'm not able to hear.
No, sir, someone unmute, that's why, sir. You're okay, sir.
Achha,
Carry on, sir, please, sir.
Now let us continue because we have to cover. Then principles of information processing. Information processing means, I have already told you, information that you get, it is being processed for your output or a product to be kept in the long-term memory. You are preparing for the examination, and those informations are being processed in your short-term memory, and finally the product or output that you have prepared is saved in the long-term memory. And whenever you need, you call it back to your short-term memory and use it in the examination. If it is there, but it doesn't come during your required time. There are many reasons. And those are called theories of forgetting. Means there are things in your mind, in your long-term memory, but you are not able to bring it back during your requirement or emergency. That is what is memory failure or forgetting you can call. Now, information processing in learning and memory. जो things that are important, I am telling. Now, there are certain things when we talk of information processing, there are certain things which are happening. One is encoding. Encoding means, as I have already told you, that the kind of information you get from the environment is in a different energy system. When you listen, it is in sound energy. When you see, it is in light energy. When somebody touch, it is in weight energy. The energy are different. But when you want to process it for your memory, it will all be converted into a single type of energy, electromagnetic energy. તમે જો રેકોર્ડ વજેકરી ગીત શુણુଛ, that is what is sound is converted into electromagnetic energy. In the record plate, you don't see any kind of sound being there. Only when it is played, you get a sound. That is what is the kind of, and that is called encoding. And encoding happens, there is some law called short-term memory, and at one time short-term memory takes 5 to 7 elements, 5 to 9 elements, and make it change, then structuring and organizing. Now, another important aspect of memory is structuring and organizing. Structuring and organizing means whenever, supposing your examination is ahead and you are studying 4 subjects. You are studying cognitive psychology, you are studying statistics, you are studying research methodology, you are studying child development. These are the 4 examinations ahead and you are studying all of them. Now, if you do not have any kind of a mechanism to help you to organize them in your long-term memory, to get them separated as a separated system in your long-term memory, then during the examination of cognitive psychology, you will write answers from child development. They will be confused. That is why whenever you are memorizing or making your memory processing, during those time, depending on your kind of requirements, you organize those things in your system. That is different. You can imagine it like a library. Librarian keeps history books in one shelf, political science books in another shelf, like that, so that whenever he needs history book, he can go straight there and get a book. If he doesn't do it like that, all books are put together, then getting one history book will take him 3 hours time. That is how every human being is also organizing the materials in his long-term memory. And that is the organizing, structuring. You can call it structuring or organizing. I am discussing the processes of memory. Now, once it is organized and structured, they are being stored. Next important thing is that those are being stored in your long-term memory. I have already told you that only long-term memory has the capacity to store, nothing else. You cannot store any material in the short-term memory because it has its maximum time of 1 minute. Anything that you keep there in short-term memory will no longer be available after 1 minute. It will go away automatically. But long-term memory, it remains all your life. And that is what is storage. And then retrieval. Retrieval, I have already told you that whenever you are in need of any memory that is there in the long-term memory, ତମର ଲଙ୍ଗ ଟର୍ମ ମେମୋରିରେ ଯାହା ଅଛି, ତମର ଯେତେବେଳେ ତାର କୌଣସି କାମ ପାଇଁ ଆବଶ୍ୟକତା, you have to bring it back. And that bringing back of long-term memory to short-term memory is not just...
Sir,
yes.
how we storage the information in long-term memory? What is the
That
process?
is, process means your information by your neurochemical activities, or you can call it neurobiological activities, are changed into a minute system called memory gram. चिप्स भाया तमें जेमती कंप्यूटर रे माने खाली ये पे मैं कहूँ कंप्यूटर चिप जेमती देखिबा पे से यानी तमरो सबू मेमोरी पाई a neurogram is created. We call it the neurogram, or we call it memory gram, and it is there being stored in the long-term memory. In that way it is stored. Whenever you demand that thing, you bring it. As much as a librarian finds a book, if he wants to give history books to somebody, he goes straight there to history place and collect it from there. Similarly, it is a kind of neuro engram. It is there in you, and as you grow up, it is growing up more and more. All your life's memory are being kept in a very simple and a very neurological system. तमे जेमती कंप्यूटर को देखुच कंप्यूटर रे विभिन्न चिप्स अच्छी सेम जी तमरो मेमोरी like that, and I don't say that it is exactly same size. It is very minute in structure and very powerful in nature. That is what is there. And then comes retrieval. Retrieval means, as I have already told you, things are there in the long-term memory. They are being kept there. But why you have kept those things? Because you think that sometimes they will be necessary. You may require it sometime. And when it comes to use, it cannot, I have already told you, it cannot be used directly from long-term memory. You have to bring it back to the short-term memory, because those can be used and activated by short-term memory. As you know, a chips outside the computer is of no use. It is lying there. Whenever you are, supposing you have a pen drive, lots of information are there in the pen drive as stored, but your pen drive cannot give you all information in the open. It has to be connected to a CPU or computer system. Similarly, there are a lot of things in the long-term memory, but it cannot play on its own. You have to bring it back to the short-term memory. Short-term memory is like your computer system. It acts on the chips and gives you information. Now, this is what is retrieval. Now, theories of information processing. Now, about how we process our information, I told you a general model of information from sensory memory to short-term memory. Short-term memory is the processing house. The material is prepared there. Then it is transferred to long-term memory for storage. This is a very simple mechanism. Aramala, theory hala, rohila. Now, there are other models also to explain the process of short-term memory. And in that,
Excuse me, sir.
Bloom's.
Hello.
Yes.
Sir, I had a question, sir. Can I ask, sir? Yes, sir. Sir, exactly what you told about cognitivism, that is, means cognitive aspect of brain, all that things, that information processing is coming under that cognitivism. But sir, when exactly the learner or a person construct his knowledge, means in what phase, whether it is sensory memory or whether it is short-term memory or long-term memory, when the child or when the, yes, sir,
Anybody. All these parts are the all these systems are parts of information processing memory. Sensory memory has certain activities like selection, like elimination of stimuli, and the processing activity, largely the encoding process. Encoding is the process. Encoding process is carried out by the short-term memory.
Sir, exactly my question is cognitivism and constructivism. There is a link between cognitivism and constructivism, sir. Sir, my question is, yes, sir.
Constructivism is the processing of cognitivism. Your cognitive world is created through a constructive process. You are constructing your knowledge. That is what you call constructivism. Knowledge as the end product is your cognitivity. The process is constructive part of your cognitism. That means
Sir,
whenever
yes, yes, sir. Sir, exactly. First we process the information, we recognize the things, we process the information. After that, we construct the knowledge, or first we construct the knowledge. After that, we process the information.
no. Information is the raw material. Out of the information, you construct knowledge, and after the knowledge is constructed, you save it for future use. And whenever, supposing you may ask a question here, that is it that all the knowledge those have been created, they remain like that, or will there be any kind of change once the knowledge
Definitely,
is
sir.
created?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. There is a change.
Constructive.
Definitely, knowledge is not same for all, and it is changed in due course of time, and everyone having different types of knowledge, sir. So that's why I'm asking, sir. Cognitivism, we recognize the things, we process information anyway, any information. We say, for instance, as you are citing Piaget theory. Piaget theory, yes, sir.
Basic plain simple thing is, you are constructing your knowledge, and your construction of knowledge grow up to create your cognitive system. That means whatever at present your cognitive system, whatever is there, is through the process of being created by constructing them. The construction is fast, and development of cognition happens through construction. All theories, Piaget theory also says same thing, that the child experiences, brings the thing, constructs its knowledge accordingly, and then grow up in cognitive character.
Okay, so then that means first constructivism will come, after that cognitivism will come, sir.
That you can put it that way. Now this unit is over. You have all books and questions in the end of this book, which book you are supposed to refer, and like that.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, any other study material we need to follow apart from this IGNO book for cognitive psychology? Or
I always advise alongside IGNO book. Okay. You can go any kind of doubt, you can study it in net study. Google you can go and find out. Supposing you have some doubt, you put that question and find out the answer. Supposing you want to know something more, I will not just tell this material is good, but for your further knowledge, further understanding, you can take help of other things. Books you can take up, but I think it is always better to have some kind of Google reading, PPT, image. There are a lot of things about everything. Lot of things are available in, and that will give you better clarification also.
Okay, no need to follow any other books.
That I cannot take it in that way. I tell it in that way.
Follow another.
Sir, one question, sir.
There is reference books in the list. Sabu list, sabu ye material last ko book reference achi. You can read that.
Sir,
actually there are lots of books, so we are getting confused of which book we need to follow other than this IGNO book. That's why I asked this question.
First of all, my point is IGNO book at the basic level is good, and you are to grow up on those material from any other source if you are interested. And first source is anything that, supposing you want to know what is information processing model, then you write information processing model and see there will be a lot of models come out. Hello.
Sir, one question, sir.
Unit arambha karuchi.
Sir, one question, sir. Bottom up or top down principle, sir? Bottom up or top down principle?
bottom up and top down theory explanation to
Yeah, sir.
theory. Acha. Bottom up and top down.
Down.
Whenever you are dealing with any kind of knowledge, any kind of thing, already it is not that your system is vacuum or vacant about that thing. Any new knowledge, new situation is not a completely new thing for you. Maybe there are certain things in your system already existing to help you solve that problem, understand that problem. ତମେ ଯଦି ଗୋଟେ ଜିନିଷ ବୁଝିବା ପାଇଁ ଚାହୁଁଛ, ତମ ସେ ଜିନିଷ ବୁଝିଲା ବେଳକୁ ତମ ମନରେ ତା ବିଷୟରେ ଯେ କିଛି ନାହିଁ, ଏକଦମ ଖାଲି, ଏକଥା ସତ ନୁହେଁ. There are certain things which are in your present system which will be supportive and helpful to understand a new thing. ଗୋଟେ ପର୍ସପେକ୍ଟିଭ ରେ କହୁଛି, ନୂଆ ଜିନିଷ ଜାଣିବା ପାଇଁ ତମ ମନ ଭିତରେ କିଛି ଜିନିଷ ରହିଛି ଯୋଉଟା ଜାଣିବା ପାଇଁ ସପୋର୍ଟିଭ. ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ହେଲା the part of the thing that is there which will come into rescue of your new knowledge is the top down. Top means coming from your system to the environment. ତମ ଆଗରେ ଗୋଟେ ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ ଅଛି, ତାକୁ ସମାଧାନ କରିବାର ଅଛି, ସେ ବିଷୟରେ ଜାଣିବାର ଅଛି. ତମ ମନରେ ଯୋଉ ଜିନିଷ ତମ ଭିତରେ ଅଲରେଡି ଅଛି ତାକୁ ଆଣିକିରି ସମାଧାନ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ଚେଷ୍ଟା କରୁଛ, ଯୋଉଟା ତମେ ଜାଣିଛ. ପରୀକ୍ଷାରେ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚିନଟେ ପଡିଲା, ତମେ ଯାହା ଜାଣିଛ ତାକୁ ଯଦି ଆଣିକିରି ସମାଧାନ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ଚେଷ୍ଟା କଲ, you are making a top down approach to solve that problem. Top down means with the help of things already existing in your system. Top down. Bottom up means whenever things, a new situation is there and you have not enough things in your system to solve that, you take things from outside. ତମେ ପରୀକ୍ଷା ଅଛି, ତମେ ଯାହା ଜାଣିଛ ସେତିକି ଯଥେଷ୍ଟ ନୁହେଁ, ସେତିକିରେ ପରୀକ୍ଷା ଆନ୍ସର କରାଯାଇ ପାରିବ ନାହିଁ. ସେଥିପାଇଁ ତମେ ବହିପତ୍ର ପଢିକିରି ଆଉ ନୂଆ ନୂଆ ପଏଣ୍ଟ ଗ୍ୟାଦର କଲ. That is bottom up. Bottom up means getting things from outside. Top down means getting things from your own. ଉପରୁ ତଳକୁ, ତଳୁ ଉପରକୁ. Any got the idea?
Sir, thank you, sir.
Now next. Block 3. Now, Unit 3. Unit 3 is neuropsychological basis of learning and memory. The part I have already been telling you or discussing, that whenever we are creating our memory through the process of learning, learning is the process, learning is the bottom up aspect of memory. And at the same time, there are also certain kinds of things, the neurological aspects, which are the top down. That means something is there in your system which helps in your learning process and memory process. Something is outside the environment. Book is your top down, bottom up aspect. And your neural system in the brain, your eyes, nose, those are your top down aspects. And now neurological basis means, I have already told you that whenever we are making memory, the memory is created in the short-term house or short-term store, or we call it the working table, working memory. And in that process, in the short-term house, things happen to change the characteristic power system of the information into neurochemical system. Whatever you have had, जोटा तमे देखिच सेटा तमरो it has been transmitted to your system in the form of light energy. तेणु different form of energy has initiated the beginning of your learning and memory system, but they need to be converted into a specific energy system. Light energy, sound energy, they cannot be retained in your system for a permanent. They have to be converted, and that is called the neurochemical basis of learning and memory. Neurological process re memory केमिति तैयारी होची. Important things. Here, human memory and brain damage. Actually, in the earlier time, one important thing is that during early time, whenever cognitive psychology was new and a lot of things were being carried out to explain the phenomenon of cognitive psychology, during those time, neuroscience was not that advanced to help understanding the human behavior or human development or memory. Therefore, one kind of research model was very popular, and that model is brain damage, amnesia. If something has happened naturally to somebody, for example, somebody has undergone an accident, and due to accident, he has lost his prior memory for a period. Now he is not able to recollect a particular time. Brain injury and amnesia due to accident. Now this person is available to us to study what part of the brain is responsible for maintenance of memory during a particular time. And then it will give us knowledge, yes, if this part is damaged, you will lose such kind of memory. Because your memory is encoded and kept in different forms in some significant parts of your brain. Brain is the storehouse of your memory. And that is what is some kind of brain surgery and memory law. These are all kinds of incidents, how things have happened in the earlier time. Aguru brain jehetu neurological neuroscience was not that developed, people couldn't afford to make experiments using normal human beings. That is why they choose people who are already in some kind of issue, and by taking that issue into consideration, they try to find out what is the kind of relationship between brain and memory. But naturally, taking people who are not as efficient as a normal human being and findings relating to them must not be very conformative. जे मोटे जहार किछि मने नाही ताकू नै करी जदि आमे मेमोरी एक्सपेरिमेंट करिवु बा मेमोरी विषय कहिवु, then there may be some kind of misinformation. But subsequently, as the neuroscience, modern neuroscience has developed, normal people can afford to be subjects of experiments in memory. आमे मध्य हेई परिबो जे कोनसी नॉर्मल लोक वर्तमान न्यूरोसाइंस एक्सपेरिमेंट रे काम करि परिबो आज. तापरे this is the kind of thing being given your different kinds of aspects of the brain. This figure is there and descriptions are there which part plays a role in what functions of learning and memory. Learning memory pai ko patar kono kamo. Now information processing challa. Amnesia. Amnesia means memory loss. Sometimes amnesia is a very common feature with elderly people. They have certain things, and that is what is due to neurological degeneration. Ammanakara memory loss hochi, severe memory loss hochi. 5 minutes back, what we have done, we are not able to remember, and that is due to neurological dysfunction. Or gradually our neurological systems are getting, that is a kind of amnesia. Similarly, there are different kinds of amnesia by accident, amnesia by forceps child. Sometimes this nowadays it's not being practiced. Some early days there were forcepping. The child is brought out of the mother's womb by use of a large forceps on his head, and sometimes that caused different kinds of amnesic problems. Now these are some of the things that you have to discuss. Memory consolidation and hippocampus. Now hippocampus is your part of the system which keeps your memory consolidation. That means whatever memory you are taking up about anything, supposing you are remembering things during examination, and for your preparation, you have remembered a lot of things to write in the examination. Now your examination is over. You have appeared the examination. And if you continue to keep all those memory in your system, naturally your system will be overloaded, will be flooded. जीवन सारा आम जिते जिनस जानूचु सबू को जदि समान भाव में रखिबू सबू जाक जदि साइतिक रखिबू ओलिया मलिया घरे रखिला भलिया हेइ जिवो. That is the kind of analog. That is why whenever something is over, some purpose of memory is over, then we consolidate it. We summarize it so that it takes little space in our system. It takes little area in our system. बुझी पारछो कि नहीं? Consolidation माने आमे मेमोरी को आस्ते आस्ते आवश्यकता अनुसार ता भितर निहाती आवश्यक जेतिकी ताकू रखुछु. समय क्रमे जो जिनस दरकार नहीं we also eliminate. If we feel like that this is not what we require, then we eliminate those memory. And sometimes आमे synoptic form रे जेतिकी आवश्यकता ता पई सेतिकी रखिकरी छाड़ दउछ. And that is called the consolidation process of memory. And that consolidation process is carried out by a part of your brain is called hippocampus. Hippocampus is the part of the brain. Anterior and lateral temporal. These are some of the aspects of your central brain, and they have different functions. Different parts of the brain. Memory is a very powerful system, learning and memory. And to maintain that, you.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes.
Sir, आम्ही जो स्वप्न देखुचे ड्रीम्स टा ड्रीम्स देखला पर सेतिरो किछि जिंस आमे मन रखुचे किछि जिंस भूली जाउचे किछि जिंस हमर लॉन्ग टर्म पई मन रहि जाउचे किछि जिंस शॉर्ट टर्म पई रहुचे तो सेटा को हमें कोन कहबा.
That is also consolidation. Memory is a dream is a part of your memory process. You carry out your dream by using your memory. Memory supplements your dream. There are different dream theories, but largely memory supplement your dream. And whenever you are getting into a dream, the contents that you see, all contents are not taken into your memory. They are also consolidated. That is consolidated. And those consolidated dream also, because they don't have any further use, they also vanish out. It's a cleaning process. Your long-term memory is a organizing process, is a cleaning process. Organizing process means supposing information 1, information 2, they are kept as different. Data information alga rakha. Now you discover that these two informations are same. Then you eliminate one information. That is a automatic process of human functioning, organizing and coding. And in the process of organizing and coding, your memory is also doing that. You are also cleaning your system every now and then. All your childhood memories, which were one time very powerful in your system, are no more available now. Because they have outlived their time. It is continuously, it is a continuously growing and a continuously organizing process.
ସାର୍
yes.
ଆମେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଯୋଗ ମେଡିଟେସନ करे ଆମର ମେମୋରି ପାୱାର ତ ହାବି ଡେଭଲପଡ ହଉଛି ନା ସ୍ଥିର ଆସୁଛି ଷ୍ଟାବିଲିଟି
Yes.
ଆସୁଛି ହାଉ ଡୁ
Whenever you are doing now the question is memory functioning similar for all? ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ memory processing ର ଯୋଉ power ସମାନ କି? No. It is being carried out by genetic characteristics. Genetic বা nature has certain role in your memory system. ତମ memory ଯାହା ମୋ memory ସେୟା ନ ହେଇପାରେ. We have a different strength of our memory. But whenever you are carrying out a yoga, you empower your memory system. ମନେ କର ତମର memory system ମୋଠୁ ଭଲ ଅଛି. ମୁଁ ଯଦି ଯୋଗ କରିବି ମୁଁ ସେଇ ପ୍ରୋସେସ ଭିତରକୁ ଯାଇକିରି ଏମ୍ପାୱାର କରିକିରି ତମ memory ଭଳିଆ memory gather କରିପାରିବି. ତେଣୁ ଯୋଗ বা any for that matter any kind of supportive system ମନେକର ବାଦାମ ଖାଇଲେ memory ଭଲ ହବ ବୋଲି କହୁଛନ୍ତି. ତେଣୁ ସେଇଟା supportive system means it is environmental support. ତମେ ଯେମିତି ଖାଇକିରି ନିଜର ଓଜନ ବଢେଇ ପାରିବ ସେମିତି ତମେ support system ଦେଇକିରି and yoga is a kind of support system. But there is some natural power in everybody, natural function of memory. Now, animal models of memory ଗୁଡାକ ଆଉ ବିଶେଷ ନାହିଁ, ଖାଲି କହି ଦଉଛି ଟିକେ ଟିକେ ଦେଖେଇ ଦଉଛି. Imaging and human brain and memory, episodic and encoding and retrieval. There are different kinds of memory, semantic memory, episodic memory. Memory also that you have to read. Semantic episodic memory means supposing you have witnessed a marriage function and you remember that function one by one. प्रथमे कौन हला, तापर कौन हला, तापर कौन हला. Then this is an episode, episodic memory. When your memory is being prepared for certain kinds of event growing. Similarly, also semantic memory. Semantic memory means the class I am taking, whatever I am telling is not just episodically remembered by you, but the essence, whatever I have said, the essence is being taken up by you. ଯାହା କହିଲି ତାର ଗୋଟେ ମାନେ ସମରି ଭଳିଆ ଜିନିଷ ତମ ମନ ଭିତରେ ରହିଲା, and that is semantic memory. And like that kind of thing, procedural memory. These things are very simple things you have to read, because let us sum up. And now we have to go for the last unit. Any question up to now? ଆଉ କଣ ଏ ବିଷୟରେ ପଚାରିବାର ଅଛି କି? ନହେଲେ ଲାଷ୍ଟ ୟୁନିଟ୍ କି ପଚାରୁଛି. Block 1, Unit 4.
Sir, got a question, sir. Sir, one question. Sir, one question, sir.
Yes.
Dynencephalic amnesia, sir, कौन sir? Dynencephalic amnesia.
Oh, diencephalic amnesia. Achha. All amnesia are mental disorders. Diencephalon is a part of your brain which controls certain very specific memories, particularly coordinational function. Coordinational function of the human memory is being controlled by the diencephalon. As I have already told, different parts of the brain control different memory organization, memory function, memory coordination, and coordinational function is happened. Supposing diencephalon amnesia means the person will forget to ଜଣେ ଯଦି ପ୍ୟାଣ୍ଟ ପିନ୍ଧିବ, ସାର୍ଟ ପିନ୍ଧିବ, ପ୍ୟାଣ୍ଟ ପିନ୍ଧିବ. This is a combination. But the person doesn't remember that there is a kind of event. ତେଣୁ coordinated events ଯୋଉଗୁଡାକ, particularly ମନେକର ରୋଷେଇ କରୁଛି ଜଣେ ଲୋକ, कहा पर पानी दिया हबो कहा पर लुण दिया हबो that process procedural memory that he will forget. That is diencephalin amnesia. Diencephalin also controls some other kinds of mental processing, but in that memory loss, amnesia is a kind of memory loss, and that memory loss is due to dysfunction of the diencephalon. Diencephalon is a connecting route in the brain between the cortex, part of the cortex, and memory function ne tar gote role achi for maintenance of seriality and like that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Now, the last one is models of information processing. Models of information processing means how do we process information in our brain? There is some kind of differences among the psychologists. One processing from sensory memory to short-term memory to long-term memory. This is just the formal process and nobody denies it. This, but when you are processing, you are conducting the processing in your brain for higher cognitive activities and higher cognitive processes, encoding, rehearsal, and all those things. People have different models for processing. And there are some important models that we have to discuss. One is one Norman model. Now you see models of processing. This is called one normal model. That means in this model, what it advocates, you see, stimulus. I have already told you that our memory processing begins with stimulus from environment. Amar jodi akhi, nako, kanno, sabu bond kari diya jibo, there will be no memory, no processing. That is the source. We get stimulation from the environment, either through eye or through ear or through eye and ear or through touch or through nose or in combination of them. Unless we get environmental information, our processing cannot start. Memory cannot happen to us. We cannot remember things. And that stimulus goes to the primary memory. Primary memory means the part in the other thing, including sensory memory and short-term memory. They called it, the original term, they called it primary memory. Sensory and short-term house taken together, they are primary aspects of the memory. And here, as we continue working on it, lot of things are lost and forgotten. That means whatever information come to our system, in the first place, maximum of those information, a large part of those information are lost. We don't find anything them in the future. And that is called forgotten. And if forgetting happens at this stage, whatever material goes out at this stage, they will never be available to us at any time. Our future is amutku kebe milibani. It's a gola. It's a permanent loss. The memory, the thing that we forgot in this stage. Then all those materials available in the primary memory, they get rehearsal work. Rehearsal means activities are conducted on them. Different activities we carry out on them. We make different processing on them. And when you carry out different processing, finally, some materials are prepared as memory, which we called memorygram, engram, or memory blocks, memory chips. Jaha tame kahucho kuh. Sei bhaliya jinso tiyari hue, and that is transferred to the secondary memory, which at present we call long-term memory. Tenu this is a very simple model. Eithi tiyari hela memory, tiyari sorila, eita hala tamaro factory, tiyari sarla, eita hala godown. Iti jai rohila. ଏଇ ଫ୍ୟାକ୍ଟ୍ରିରେ ଯୋଉ ଜିନିଷ ଗୁଡାକ ଖରାପ ହେଇଗଲା ଫିଙ୍ଗି ଦିଆଗଲା ତା କାମ ଚଳିଲା। That is what is the kind of model. This is factory, this is godown. Now, but this is a very simple model. Human memory is not that simple a model. Now, the more important and advanced model, so to say an up-to-date model is Atkinson-Safrin model. It is an extension of the other model. जो मॉडल आमे कहले नॉर्मन मॉडल तार extension बड़ा मॉडल. Now same, but all these models they believe that memory is built from the stimuli from environment. External stimuli रू आरंभ. Input समस्तଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ समान. बाहर दुनिया जहाँ आसिबो से प्रोसेसिंग हबो. And then that goes to sensory memory. The thing that I have already told. Sensory memory means your eyes, your nose, they have certain capacity to keep the material with them for some time in sensory memory. And ମୁଁ ଶୁଣୁ ଶୁଣୁ ମଧ୍ୟ ମୋର ବହୁତ ଜିନିଷ ତା ଭିତରୁ ନଷ୍ଟ ହେଇଗଲା. ମୁଁ ଦେଖୁ ଦେଖୁ ମଧ୍ୟ ମୁଁ ବହୁତ ଜିନିଷ ତା ଭିତରୁ ଚାଲିଗଲା. ମୁଁ ଯାହା ଦେଖିଲି ସବୁ ମୋର ଭିତରକୁ ଗଲାନି. ମୁଁ ଯାହା ଶୁଣିଲି ସବୁ ଭିତରକୁ ଗଲାନି. Whatever I am telling to you, it's not that everything is going to your system and cannot also. It cannot go to your system. But a lot of things being forgotten here. But at the same time, it is not the kind of thing जे मन इच्छा ता भितरु जहा पळेइबो से कथा नुहे. आमे जदि 500 information आसीची to our system, if there are 500 elements, we will work on it to say which one to retain and which one to loss. किए रहिबो किए जिबो, that is also part of our working memory process. We work on that. These information need to pass. These information need to go away. And that is what is initial processing. By making an initial processing, we select certain part. 1000 information. Finally, by working on that, we select 20 information. Next, rest 990, we eliminate, go out. That is how. And now, as they go to short-term memory. The first entry is, you see the direction. They go to short-term memory. And in short-term memory, there is activity. And that activity helps certain things to grow up, to create response. If it is required, what it is required, how it is required, everything will be tested there. It is like the laboratory of memory. Everything will be tested. And those who pass out in the testing of short-term memory, they are carried on to the long-term memory by this route. If they are not passing, they also get eliminated, forgotten. This is the work. And finally, the response, retrieval and response. This is the model. This is an important question, models of memory. Then all these things are there. STM, whatever I told is the working memory, where it is held perhaps 20 to 30 seconds. Another important thing I am telling about STM and LTM, in STM materials remain not more than 30 seconds. In some way it is said that 1 minute, but 30 seconds is most of the reference material, they say that it is 30 seconds. Means every 30 seconds the short-term memory is working on certain elements, preparing it and sending it to long-term memory. Then another batch of information coming, then working, then another batch. Likewise, every 30 seconds it is working. It is a very fast and the most important house being supported by your central cerebral part of the cerebral cortex. Now, long term memory, organizational troubling, कौन आउ important जिनिस अच्छी level of recall. Now, another when you have a memory, naturally you have kept it for your use. You want to use it subsequently whenever it is required. And that process is called recalling. Means it is there, now I need, now I am in the examination hall, now I have my question, please come to my rescue. I will be writing the answer. And that is called recalling. And recalling is done by a method called retrieval. Retrieval अर्थ होला डाकिबा. मैं आगुर तुमको कहिछि, things are there in the long term memory, and whenever you need to retrieve. जेमति तमे जनकु फूल चंदन देई डाकुछ, सेमति तम मेमोरी की मध्ये लॉन्ग टर्म रु शॉर्ट टर्म हिसाब डाकिए को पड़े. And that retrieval process, as you know, is a very, very scientific process. And it operates on certain cues. For example, I am telling you, supposing you have in an examination, you have to write 10 points. You have remembered that there are 10 points to write in the examination for that answer. And what you do, you play certain kinds of mnemonics like prati point ro first word neikri you make a rhyme. And in the examination hall, you try one by one and then come out. That is a retrieval technique. There are several kinds of retrieval techniques. Whenever you are putting a material into your memory, you add some kind of tag so that it will be remembered. Sometimes whenever you are not able to remember the name of a friend, supposing you have a tag, yes, my friend has a born in his right ear. Now you see the ear and remember, yes, it is you. That is a tag. Retrieval means bringing memory back from long term to short term needs certain tag which is called retrieval cues. Retrieval cues are very important for our memory because many people have a good memory. They keep things well in their system, but they don't get it during the right time, appropriate time. Sabu jinso achi, kintu dorkar bele kamre lagiboni. For example, we people, we have also that bigger problem due to unavailability of our retrieval cues in our brains. Retrieval cues is also managed by our central nervous system. Our aging is such that sometimes those retrieval cues do not appear. We see a friend, a very good friend, but we cannot remember his name because that retrieval cue is not available. And therefore, retrieval is very important. And sometimes retrieval is a non-availability of retrieval cue is a common. जोटा कि कहा जाए तुमरो दीटा टाइप रो थ्योरी अछि फॉरगेटिंग रो माने गोटे टाइप रो अछि इंटरफियरेंस थ्योरी ऑफ फॉरगेटिंग व्हिच सेज that either you miss some cues which are ahead of your memory or you miss some cues which are later to your memory, retroactive and proactive inhibition. That means supposing you have read English and then mathematics, and now your English examination is there. Because you have read mathematics after English, mathematics has blocked English, repressed English. That is a retroactive inhibition. This is a cue formation. Now, how can I achieve? ହେଲା levels of processing कहि देछि information processing rehearsal maintenance everything is explained by figure also so you don't have to be very self reference files now कार अछि कि processing let us sum up now I have given you some brief idea, some summary idea about this block 1, all 4 units relating to learning and memory. And now, if you have some specific questions about these kind of things, you can ask, or else we will close the session. କାହାର କିଛି ପଚାରିବାର ଅଛି କି? ତମମାନଙ୍କ ପାଖରେ ଯଦି if you don't have the material is easily available. Get it download from the system and from IGNO source. You can have it for you.
material ପ୍ରାୟ ସାର୍ ପଳେଇ ଆସିବ ଆଉ 2-3 ଦିନରେ ପହଞ୍ଚିଯିବ
ହଁ ଯଦି ପହଞ୍ଚି ଗଲା ତ ଭଲ or else you can for your or else very simple to get it. It is available.
ସାର୍ ଆପଣଙ୍କ ପାଖରେ ଇନଫରମେସନ ଅଛି କି ମାନେ ଯୋଉ ଫାର୍ଷ୍ଟ ସେମିଷ୍ଟର ଏକ୍ଜାମ କେବେ ହବ
Actually that I am just an external support to that system. I conduct examination. I am not a part of that. Information. I'm a retired professional and I'm working somewhere else. I'm not working in IGNO. I am only their restricted. You can say counselor. I'm an admitted counselor. There are many people like that. So, jaha information, whatever you want, you can ask them in the central, regional center. They will give you actual information.
Sir, ଆମକୁ କିଛି ମାନେ ଇନଫରମେସନ ପାଇବା ଗଲେ ରିଜନାଲ ସେଣ୍ଟର କଣ୍ଟାକ୍ଟ କରିବାକୁ ପଡିବ କି ଷ୍ଟଡି ସେଣ୍ଟର
Study center ପାଖରେ information ସବୁ ଥିବ କି ନାହିଁ ସନ୍ଦେହ. What is your study center?
Sir, Revensa College.
Revensa you may not get all information from Revensa. It is only regional center which will give you the maximum information. Because sometimes they are also not. Revensa is the study center where they have only some 1-2 people for their regular transaction. Or else Revensa professor, I am also from Revensa long back. ଆମ କାମ ହେଲା ଏଇଗୁଡାକ ତେଣୁ ଷ୍ଟଡି ସେଣ୍ଟରରେ ସବୁ ଜିନିଷ ପାଇବ ନାହିଁ regional center but as much as I know they are giving information to you on your message system WhatsApp or message text message they are giving everything
ନାଇଁ ସାର୍ ଏବେ ଯୋଉ ଆଜି କ୍ଲାସ ପାଇଁ କାଲି ବାସ୍ ଆମକୁ ପୂର୍ବରୁ କାଲି ମେସେଜ ଆସିଥିଲା ଯେ କ୍ଲାସ ପାଇଁ ଶିଡ୍ୟୁଲ ଦେଖ ବୋଲି ରିଜନାଲ ସେଣ୍ଟରରୁ କାଲି ମେସେଜ ଆସିଥିଲା
ଆଚ୍ଛା ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ କଣ କାଲି ଆସିଛି
2 days back.
Sir, kaali achi.
2 days back.
2 days back is also good. You can see. 2 days back means it's nothing. Yeah? Oh, anyway, one thing I am telling. My next class is on
15.
On 15th.
15 January.
Achha. I will have to talk on 15th. Maybe it will begin 1 hour late.
Okay.
Get ready for that. Get ready for that. Because I have another important work and I don't know whether it will be completed by 4. If it will not become, in fact, had it been 5 to 7, it would have been better. But anyway, other days are no problem. On 15th, you also inform your friends. On 15th, I will have my class on from 5 to 7. I will also inform that if it is possible. Hello.
Sir, one more question.
Jadi possible. Any question?
Sir, can we get connected with you after this class if there is some problems or difficulties we are finding regarding
No, you
this?
can have a phone call to me.
Okay. Then we
Phone
will be
call.
provided phone number.
You can take my phone number.
Yes, sir.
986 11
986 11
44
44
290.
290.
Okay. Thank
सर
you, sir.
रिपीट कीजिए सर रिपीट कीजिए
986 11 44 44 290.
ओके थैंक यू सर
But with one request, call me because you know I am working in 3 different places, particularly teaching, and you can call me whenever it is actually required for you.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
For any kind of academic support, you can call me.
Yes, sir.
Now the class is over.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much
Thank you, sir.
for your experience.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
But nine again.
Sir.
For 15
Sir.
for 15 it is 5 o'clock.
Yes.
5 to
Okay,
7.
sir. Sir, phone number ta
Get ready for 5 to 7.
Thank you, sir. Hello, sir.
Yes.
phone number sir आप से repeat करिए sir. Sir,
Hey,
phone number.
Ma'am, get yourself added in this WhatsApp chat. Then you will get the phone number.
Okay.
My phone number I have already given.
Sir, मुझे ये करनी sir.
Okay, sir. We will provide
you
the mobile number with the rest of the participants.
You will give it to the rest of the participants.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable time. Thank you so much.
Sir.
Thank you, sir.
Any question from somebody? Sujit?
Sir. No, sir. No, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Hello. phone number टा किमित पाई sir madam. Hello. phone number टा की repeat करिए कि भाई
98.
Hello.
98.
9
611.
611
44
44
290.
ଆମ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କର ଗୋଟେ ଗ୍ରୁପ କଲେ ଭଲ ହୁଅନ୍ତା
ଜଣେ କି ଗ୍ରୁପ କରିଛନ୍ତି ସେଇଠି ଆଡ୍ ହେଇଗଲେ ବେଟର ହବ
କରୁଛନ୍ତି କି
ହଁ ସେ ମେସେଜ ରେ ଆପଣ WhatsApp ଲିଙ୍କ ଅଛି ସେଇଠି ଆଡ୍ ହେଇଯାଆନ୍ତୁ
ମୁଁ ଲିଙ୍କ ଟା ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ସେଣ୍ଡ କରି ଦଉଛି ସୁଜିତ ୱେଟ୍ କରନ୍ତୁ ଟିକେ
thank you
just wait I'm sending in the chat section
okay thank you
आप लोगों में से कोई आई कार्ड डाउनलोड किया
हाँ मैं तो किया
मेरा हो नहीं रहा है लिंक
Sujit just check the link if it is not happening then tell me again
okay लिंक तो मिल गया मेरा मोबाइल नंबर टाइप करूं
लिंक में क्लिक कर दीजिए
क्लिक कर चुका हूं
हो नहीं रहा है Jati Honi, you can tell me. I can add you right now. Sujit?
70086
70086
8699 240
70086
99
Hmm.
240.